Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.
Question 1. Which of the following is not a way in which mortgages and trust deeds differ? A. Securities. B. Title. C. Statute of limitations. D. Parties. Answer. A. They are both security interests in property. They provide the legal right to have the property sold in the event that the borrower defaults. Question 2. The statutory dedication process is completed when A. The appointed representative of the city or county signs accepting the dedication. B. The final subdivision map is recorded. C. The dedicated area is completed. D. Local authorities deliver a signed acceptance to the subdivider. Answer. B. Upon the final subdivision may being recorded. If the subdivider has dedicated an area through a dedication certificate and the dedication has been accepted by the properly authorized official, then the recording of the approved map would be the final step in the statutory dedication process. Question 3. When duly recorded in the county where the property of the judgment debtor is located, an abstract of judgment for money awarded by a court becomes A. An involuntary lien. B. A voluntary lien. C. An attachment lien. D. An equitable lien. Answer. A. A lien is a money encumbrance. In this instance, the encumbrance is placed on the property without the owner's consent and is, therefore, involuntary. Question 4. At 12 o'clock noon, Baker made an offer to purchase a single-family residence. He instructed his real estate broker not to present his offer until 6 p.m. By 6 p.m., 3 more offers had been submitted. The real estate broker should A. Ignore the other offers. B. Present all offers to the property owner in the order they were submitted. C. Present all offers to the property owner simultaneously as soon as possible. D. Wait until the seller acts on the first offer before presenting the other offers. Answer. C. The rule of agency is that all offers must be presented to the seller and let the seller make the decision as to which offer to accept. Question 5. One side of a section equals how many feet? A. 43,560. B. 5,280. C. 2,640. D. 1,000. Answer. B. A section is 1 mile on each side. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. Question 6. Which of the following is required in a valid homestead? A. Statement that claimant is residing on the premises and desires to claim it as a homestead. B. Statement giving the exact cost of the homestead at time of purchase. C. A description of the property including a description of the improvements. D. Signature of both husband and wife. Answer. A. Any person filing a homestead is required to reside on the premises at the time that he records the homestead and to sign a statement that he desires to claim it as a homestead. The person claiming a homestead does not have to give the cost, or a description of the improvements on the property, and it can be filed by either a husband or a wife. Question 7. The broker, as agent of the seller, owes the buyer A. Only a duty to disclose any item which relates directly to the sales price of the property. B. The same fiduciary obligations he owes to the seller. C. Only the duty to answer questions honestly. D. The duty of honestly and fair dealing. Answer. D. This deals with the responsibility an agent owes the buyer when the licensee is the agent of the seller. He owes the seller fiduciary obligations, the buyer, the duty of honestly and fair dealing. Question 8. Harry owns a building in a commercial area of town. Tina rents space in the building and operates a bookstore. In Tina's bookstore, she has installed large reading tables fastened to the walls and bookshelves that create aisles from the front of the store to the back. These shelves are bolted to both the ceiling and the floor. Which of the following best characterizes the contents of Tina's bookstore? A. The shelves and tables are trade fixtures and will convey when Harry sells the building. B. The shelves and tables are trade fixtures and may properly be removed by Tina before her lease expires. C. Beck. As Tina is a tenant, the shelves and tables are fixtures and may not be removed except with Harry's permission. D. Because the shelves and tables are attached to the building, they are treated the same as other fixtures. Answer. B. Common law protects business tenants who install fixtures for their business by treating these trade fixtures as their personal property and giving tenants the right to remove them before the end of their lease. Any damage to the building due to removal is to be repaired by the departing tenant. A licensee who participates in the sale of business property should make known to purchasers what, if any, trade fixtures there are that will not convey with the building. Question 9. A real estate license is A. Constitutionally protected right of the individual. B. Privilege granted by the state. C. Right granted by the Office of the Attorney General. D. None of the above. Answer. B. Like a driver's license, it is a privilege. Question 10. If, in a transaction, the amount made as a deposit is not sufficient to cover the monetary damages incurred by a party to the real estate sales transaction, the following party could not file an action in a court of law. A. The buyer. B. The seller. C. A real estate broker acting as an agent for his principal. D. An attorney action for his principal. Answer. C. A real estate broker acting as an agent for his principal is a special agent. The broker's powers are limited to acting in the sale of the property. He has no power to file a court action for his principal.
Passing the real estate exam can be hard, like really hard. Statistically, only about 50% of people actually pass the real estate exam on their first try. Those people that pass, they go on to become real estate agents. And the people that didn't pass, they either give up completely or have to try again. Both of these options are painful, disappointing, and upsetting. Exam Scholar Real Estate Edition has been named as the best real estate exam prep by multiple publications for 7 years in a row. If you are about to take the real estate exam, Exam Scholar Real Estate Edition is a no-brainer choice. There is no other real estate exam preparation service out there that comes close. To enjoy the longest membership time, lowest cost, real estate videos, audios, articles, flashcards, vocabulary, exam tips and tricks, a 1-year no questions asked refund policy, and be one of the 35,000 people that it has helped pass the real estate exam, then sign up in less than 5 minutes at www.realestateexamscholar.com.
Question 1. If you are looking at the note rate, you are looking at A. The interest rate stated on a mortgage note. B. An amount that has been pre-qualified. C. The rate of depreciation of a real property. D. None of these. Answer. A. The note rate is the interest rate that is stated on a mortgage note. Question 2. The National Association of Realtors, NAR, is affiliated with which of the following? A. The American Institute of Real Estate Appraisers. B. Institute of Real Estate Management. C. The Farm and Land Institute. D. All of these. Answer. E. The National Association of Realtors is affiliated with 9 institutes, councils, and societies. The American Institute of Real Estate Appraisers, the Institute of Real Estate Management, and the Farm and Land Institute are 3 of these affiliates. Question 3. What causes the real estate market to be considered inflexible? A. The lack of control of factors determining values of property. B. The immobility of land as well as the time required to develop new properties. C. The ability to quickly react to market demand fluctuations. D. The similarities of properties in a general geographic area. Answer B. Because each property is unique in real estate and cannot be moved, this creates a slowness to respond to market demand. Question 4. Uniqueness in real estate properties is sometimes called A. Situs. B. Conforming. C. Self-same. D. Unvaried. Answer A. Situs is a term of law, originally meaning site, where the property is treated as being located for legal purposes. This uniqueness of place in real estate is also called situs. Question 5. The mortgage that usually has priority is A. The one that has been recorded first. B. The one that has no prior liens affecting its priority. C. The one that is executed first. D. None of these. Answer A. The priority of a trust deed or mortgage is established by recording. The one that is recorded first gets priority. Question 6. If an agent is to get the commission for a long-term lease, the commission would be paid out A. Immediately for the full amount of the lease. B. Each month over the life of the lease. C. In a lump sum for half the lease amount and monthly thereafter. D. None of these. Answer B. Typically, the lease compensation is calculated based on the full and total amount of the lease but paid out monthly over the term of the lease. However, in extremely long leases, the compensation is typically paid out monthly for the first few years of the lease and a lump sum thereafter. Question 7. In order to set commission rates, the contract between the principal and broker should A. Be in writing stating rates are set by statute. B. Be in writing stating that rates are negotiable. C. Be an oral agreement if not written. D. None of these. Answer B. Commission rates are not set by statute. The commission rates between the broker and principal are negotiable. To establish this and avoid lawsuits, this should be in writing. Question 8. If a mortgage note was executed and a new loan was established on the same property at a higher interest rate, the prepayment penalty could be A. Waived due to recouping losses through a higher interest rate. B. Waived because of the understanding nature of the lender. C. Charged regardless of any interest rates. D. None of these. Answer A. Because a prepayment penalty is instituted by a lender to recoup any lost interest charges due to early payoff of a mortgage note, a lender could waive the prepayment penalty if a new loan on the same property is issued at a higher interest rate. Question 9. If an advertisement is offering a secured loan, the ad must include A. The loan is secured. B. To what extent the loan is secured. C. How and to what extent the loan is secured. D. Who is securing the loan? Answer C. Disclosure of how and to what extent a loan is secured must be included in any advertisements offering secured loans. Question 10. If a farm is sold that has a full crop of annual vegetables ready to be harvested, what conveys as real property? A. Trees. B. Air rights. C. Mineral rights. D. All of these. Answer D. The annual crops are considered personal property of the person who planted them. The trees, air rights, and mineral rights convey with the sale of the property. Question 1. A type of foreclosure proceeding used in some states that is handled as a civil lawsuit and conducted entirely under the auspices of a court is called a foreclosure review. B. Judicial foreclosure. C. Civil foreclosure. D. Bench foreclosure. Answer B. A judicial foreclosure is a type of proceeding in some states that handles foreclosure as a civil lawsuit and is handled entirely by the courts. Question 2. This will cover repairs to certain items like air conditioning or heating during the coverage period. A. Homeowner's warranty. B. Homeowner's insurance. C. Homeowner's deductible. D. Homeowner's claim. Answer A. A homeowner's warranty will cover repairs to certain items such as major appliances. This type of warranty is loosely regulated and is not required. Question 3. What is the main activity of the FHA? A. Insuring of residential mortgage loans made by private lenders. B. Making loans to individuals while insuring the loan amount. C. Issuing mortgage notes on behalf of lenders. D. Insuring lenders themselves and not loans. Answer A. The main activity of the FHA is to insure residential mortgage loans made by private lenders. Question 4. One of the indexes used to determine interest rate changes for certain adjustable rate mortgages is called A. COFI. B. C. BAES. D. LAFI. Answer A. The Cost of Funds Index, COFI, is one of the indexes used to determine interest rate changes for certain adjustable rate mortgages. Question 5. A type of multiple ownership where the residents of a multi-unit housing complex own shares in the cooperative corporation that owns the property and gives each resident the right to occupy a specific unit is called A. A union. B. A co-op. C. A group mortgage. D. A timeshare. Answer B. A co-op, or cooperative is a type of ownership that allows the residents the right to occupy a specific unit based on the owned shares in the cooperative corporation. Question 6. This type of building is operated like a commercial hotel even though each of the units are owned by the individuals. A. Cooperative building. B. Condominium hotel. C. Cooperative hotel. D. Association hotel. Answer B. In a condominium hotel, the units are owned by each individual but it is operated like a commercial hotel. Question 7. This is used for determining interest rate changes on some adjustable rate mortgages. A. CODI. B. COFI. C. DOFI. D. CONI. Answer A. A certificate of deposit index, CODI, is used for determining interest rate changes on some adjustable rate mortgages. Question 8. A public official who establishes the value of a property for taxation purposes is called an A. Assessor. B. Investigator. C. Appraiser. D. Collector. Answer A. An assessor is a public official who establishes the value of a property for taxation purposes. Question 9. Items of value owned by an individual are called A. Assets. B. Real property. C. Interests. D. None of these. Answer A. Items of value that are owned by an individual are called assets. Question 10. Assets quickly converted to cash are considered A. Liquid, B. Illegal, C. Solid, E. Unified. Answer. Assets that are quickly converted to cash are considered liquid assets. Question 1. When more than one property is placed as security for a note and trust deed, this is called what type of encumbrance? A. Total, B. Blanket, C. Inclusionary, D. Comprehensive. Answer. B. A blanket encumbrance is placed when more than one property is used as security for a not and trust deed. Question 2. If a real estate corporation hires employees for their sales staff, the employees must have A. A license, B. A contract of employment, C. A verbal agreement, D. A bond. Answer. Employees of a real estate corporation that function in a sales capacity must have either a real estate salesperson or broker's license in that state. Question 3. In the event that parties do not comply with the bulk sales law as outlined in the Uniform Commercial Code, the buyer is likely to be A. The most injured, B. The least injured, C. Equally injured as the seller, D. None of these. Answer. A. In the event that a seller does not comply with the bulk sales law, the buyer would be the most injured. The laws allow a creditor to obtain rights to the property to sell and satisfy a debt, but the buyer has no such recourse if a seller does not comply. Question 4. Specializations in the field of real estate include A. Property management, appraisal, financing, B. Appraisal, financing, pest control, C. Property management, water damage restoration, appraisal, D. Financing, home management, appraisal. Answer. A. Property management, appraisal, and financing are all specializations a person can obtain in the field of real estate. The other answers, while ancillary, are not real estate specializations. Question 5. Which of these conditions creates a seller's market? A. The sudden influx of people to an area. B. The rising of property prices due to inflation. C. The addition of several new housing tracts of new homes. D. Neighboring homes selling for above list price. Answer. The sudden influx of people to an area creates higher demand for the existing homes in the area. Since new homes cannot be built fast enough to supply demand, this creates a seller's market. Question 6. In order to make a withdrawal from the broker's trust account, in addition to authorization from the broker, an employee must be A. Licensed, B. Bonded, C. Insured, D. None of these. Answer. B. Anyone under authorization from the broker withdrawing funds from the broker's trust account must be bonded. Question 7. A licensed agent working under John, a broker, withdraws funds from John's broker trust account with John's permission. The agent is licensed but not bonded. This transaction would be A. Illegal, B. Legal, C. Unethical, D. None of these. Answer. A. In order for someone other than the broker to withdraw funds from the broker's trust account, the person must be bonded. Question 8. A title insurance policy protects a lender from prior A. Liens. B. Damage. C. Pest infestation. D. Environmental hazards. Answer. A. A title insurance policy protects a lender by ensuring that the property has no prior liens. If any liens did show up at a later date, the title insurance policy protects the lender and ensures the mortgage is still an enforceable lien. Question 9. What protects a lender ensuring that the mortgage is an enforceable lien? A. Title insurance. B. An acceleration clause. C. Physical inspection. D. Mortgage insurance. Answer. A. Title insurance protects a lender ensuring that the mortgage is an enforceable lien by ensuring there are not prior liens on the subject property. Mortgage insurance protects the lender from default on the loan. Question 10. How does the FHA insure loans? A. Title insurance. B. Mutual mortgage insurance. C. Homeowners insurance. D. Default claims insurance. Answer. B. The FHA insures loans with mutual mortgage insurance. Question 1. A salesperson receives an offer from a buyer who has no cash but offers a deposit of $500 in the form of personal note payable in 30 days. A. This is unacceptable since a deposit must be in cash or a check. B. The form of deposit is immaterial as long as the $500 figure appears on the deposit receipt. C. A salesperson may accept a personal note as deposit if he advises the seller of this prior to acceptance. D. A salesperson may accept a note if made in favor of the broker to handle expenses. Answer. C. It is perfectly all right for the salesperson to accept a personal note as a deposit, but this must be disclosed to the seller before the acceptance of the offer. Question 2. Collecting rents, fixing up the property and showing vacant units are the types of responsibilities that would be assumed by A. A broker. B. A resident property manager. C. A salesman. D. An attorney at law. Answer. B. These are the types of things that a resident property manager does. Question 3. A person who has been given the right to act on behalf of another is known as A. Affiant. B. Attorney in fact. C. Executor. D. Principal. Answer. B. The power of attorney is the piece of paper and the one with the right to act is the attorney in fact. Question 4. A prudent lender would take into consideration which of the following before issuing a loan? A. Borrower's ability to pay. B. The market value of the property that is the security for the loan. C. Current economic trends. D. All of the above. Answer. D. The lender would consider all aspects of the loan as mentioned in choices 1, 2, and 3. Question 5. Which of the following represents a gross misrepresentation by an agent? A. His representation is an obvious falsehood. B. His representation is made with a knowledge of the falsehood. C. His representation caused the aggrieved party to enter into the contract. D. All of the above. Answer. D. All of these are examples of gross misrepresentation by an agent. Question 6. The relationship between effective and nominal interest is that A. Effective interest is what the buyer pays, nominal interest is what is named in the loan application. B. Effective interest is what the buyer pays, nominal interest is what is named in the advertising. C. Effective interest is what the buyer pays, nominal interest is what is specified in the note. D. There is no difference. Answer. C. Effective rate is the actual interest rate paid by the borrower. Nominal rate is the interest rate specified in the note. Question 7. In assessing the profitability of a real estate office, the broker must consider desk cost. Which best describes how to calculate desk cost? A. Calculate the cost of all the desks. B. Calculate the gross profit for the office, less the expenses, divide by the number of desks. C. Divide the total cost of rent, utilities and advertising by the number of desks. D. Divide the total operating expenses of the office, including salaries, rent, insurance, etc., by the number of desks. Answer. D. Desk cost is the total cost of operating expenses of an office divided by the number of desks in the real estate office. Question 8. Under some loans covered under the Federal Truth in Lending Law, the borrower has a right to rescind the loan. The right to rescind is A. 3 days. B. 5 days. C. 10 days. D. 14 days. Answer. A. On loans where the personal residence is used as security, other than the first trust deed used to purchase the property, the borrower has 3 days to rescind. Question 9. A property is not listed for sale. A person who wants the property executes an offer to purchase it through a real estate agent and gives the broker a $5,000 check as a deposit. The broker A. Can accept the check on behalf of the property owner provided he presents the offer directly to the seller as the seller's agent. B. Cannot accept the check. C. Can accept the check as the exclusive agent of the buyer. D. None of the above. Answer. C. You can accept the check as exclusive agent for the buyer, but you have no listing with the seller. Question 10. The economic life of an improvement as compared to the physical life is usually A. Longer. B. Shorter. C. The same. D. Depends on the type of improvement. Answer. D. Most houses are torn down before they fall down. When a house cannot be used for rental income or residential purposes, it no longer has any economic worth and is generally torn down.
Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.